today. Mina the Hollower is one of the best games of 2026, and we have a very special guest joining us today on the podcast, Sean Velasco, studio head of Yacht Club Games. Wow.
Get excited. We've known Sean for a really long time, going back to like the early Yacht Club days. And we're so excited to catch up with him. Like, we've run into him at so many events, but we have not had a chance to have a proper sit-down fireside chat about all things. Yes, we got the fireplace and everything. So it's going to be wonderful.
It's going to be lovely. And we are going to put a picture of us from like 12 years ago here, just to show proof to you that we have actually been friends for so long, and we all look very different.
Two of us have had glow ups and one of us has had a glow down. You can do the
math yourself. Yes. Figure it out yourself. Exactly.
Shout out, as always, to our wonderful Patreon subscribers who are loving the Solo Krista behind the scenes tour of San Francisco, which I watched this morning. I loved it.
You did?
Of course I did.
Oh no!
You sound surprised.
I was gonna talk smack about you. I thought you weren't gonna watch.
Hey, that's not allowed.
Just kidding. Yes, there is. As you can see, Kit is on vacation this week, so it is solo me. But you can find lots of exclusive stuff on Patreon.com/Kit and Krysta. It's gonna be an exciting time this month.
Yes, I'm on location in a place called Sun Moon Lake in Taiwan, which is beautiful. It's the biggest lake here. It's been an eventful start to my trip. First of all, I made a mistake with my flight, not realizing I thought it was at 1:30 p.m. Turns out it was at 1:30 a.m. Good thing I figured that out in advance.
Good thing you checked.
That was a very, very, very long day of
surprise.
First thing I did, though, I got my Goemon anniversary collection. That's only available in Japan. They have it here. I got it.
Ooh.
Trip worthwhile.
Check it off the list.
Absolutely worth making the trip just to get that. Thank goodness.
Check it off the list. You have to do an unboxing
They're also
for
they're doing like military air raid tests or something here. So like there was one, I was on a bus like coming up this mountain here, and they're like, we need to pull over for half an hour because we're testing the air raids. And I got all these crazy messages on my phone of like, the internet has been intentionally degraded because we're testing the infrastructure for such and such. So it's like, okay.
This is very worrying to me.
I'm here on vacation.
In this geopolitical climate, this is quite worrying.
I'm here on vacation, so I don't know.
Quite worrying for me.
But apparently these are going all week long. And later they're like, you might need to go into some air raid bunker kind of thing. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know.
Is this really a test? Or is it something else?
I don't know.
Goodbye, Kit. He's been lost to wartime.
But the other thing that's exciting, speaking of great warriors, they have a temple here that is dedicated to my hero and my goat, Guan Yu of Dynasty Warriors. And I went there, and they have giant statues. They have the giant like spears and everything. It was like, this is what I am here for, to celebrate my hero. Guan.
Good. So, you have pictures. We're putting it here.
Yes.
It's gonna be great. It sounds like a ton of fun until there is some kind of wartime situation. So good luck to you.
Either that or a Nintendo Direct, which you seem absolutely petrified of happening.
Both things are terrifying.
You're petrified.
This always happens.
Tell us why. Tell us why.
I'm telling you right now.
Are you not capable of handling this? I think you are.
I'm absolutely capable. I just don't feel like it. So don't do it, Nintendo. I'm telling you right now. This always happens when you're away. We always seem to have some kind of situation. And I don't know. I've been getting a little, I don't know. My feelers are up because of all of these Zelda movie actor.
We got all that in the news.
Got it in the news. I don't know. They're leaks. They seem to be just being confirmed also by very reputable sites, but like many people, not just like the main cast. It seems like every day a new person gets announced or leaked or revealed or whatever. And I just smell an anniversary direct. I smell it. It's coming. It smells like a Lone Milk gone bad.
Something working in your favor is there are a couple Japanese holidays this week. So it's not like it's the full uninterrupted week. Like they were like doing the Nintendo Music stuff at different times. So maybe that counts in your favor. But yeah, it does feel like something is looming.
Something is
I don't know if it's this week or what. But yeah, I mean, I would love to join you.
I mean, we would all love that, but it could be just the kid on vacation photo. I know you might be like a wartime prisoner.
Eating a ration in a bunker.
So maybe it's the bigger picture is you could be a wartime captive. So
exciting things are ahead for me and potentially you. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. So we're in August. This is guest month on the Kit and Krysta podcast. We are getting things started with Sean Velasco today, and it's only going to get even more exciting as we go through the month. Next week, we are going to have Kevin Bayless, who is the ex-Rare artist and character designer who did the Donkey Kong Country design of Donkey Kong, created Diddy Kong, Battletoads, Killer Instinct, Donkey Kong. Like his resume is insane.
Legendary guest.
So he's going to be on
absolutely incredible. Week. Right.
A great new friend of ours. A wonderful new friend. I love making new friends. Sometimes I'm in the market for a new friend.
Sometimes we're all in the market for some new blood. Especially if one person gets kidnapped in a wartime. We might get a replacement. It's going to be the Krysta and Kevin. He's a K. He passes the test. Krysta and Kevin podcast.
Change the logo that. He could make you an incredible new logo.
He could do everything. Yeah. He do everything you can't do.
He's
honestly.
Pretty talented. He's a pretty talented guy. Yeah.
He could be like a really big upgrade. Yeah. Anyways, so he's next week.
The week after that, we have Pete Michaud, who is one of our former colleagues at Nintendo.
Former Nintendo employee.
And had some great different eras of working at Nintendo. He worked there a really long time, but we're going to talk to him specifically about the years he spent working at Nintendo Power. Wow. Which is going to be so exciting because Nintendo Power is just this really important part of Nintendo history, and he was involved in making it and shaping it during a really interesting time. This guest month is out of control.
It's so good. It's so legendary. We have so many people that are just so cool to have on and have these conversations with. It's just lovely. So yes, it's going to be a fun month. How exciting.
It is. All right, I know everybody wants us to stop talking so we can get to Sean, so we're going to do that in just a moment. But of course, first we've got to shout out our sponsor. This episode is sponsored by Raycon. And guess what? It's August, which means it is back to school season. And we didn't have incredible wireless earbuds when we were going to school. We had nothing. This was basically the Stone Age. The kids these days have these incredible...
I had a Sony Walkman and it had not wonderful everyday earbud classics.
No, I'm talking about the Raycon Everyday Earbuds Classics, which let me tell you, those were a lifesaver on that long flight that I was just on.
Oh man, but I was just going to ask you.
If you need to lock in for your studying, if you're going to the library, if you got that term paper that's due the next morning, this is going to help get you there.
Yeah, just smash that noise cancellation button like you would smash a subscribe button, and you get to focusing, and that's great. And they are 20% off right now. We use them literally every day.
Daily. Every day.
Yes, it is a staple in our lives, and they've been a longtime sponsor, and we really love them, truly.
That's right. And they come in cool colors. What's the cool color that you have?
I have the cool mint.
All right. I have black, and that's cool for me.
I'm a sucker for the cool mint. I also like the white one. The white one's really pretty.
Oh.
Yeah, I have like multiple sets of these that I just keep in various bags so that I could just have them all the time.
It's good. It's very handy. The Everyday Earbuds Classics are the perfect back-to-school companion. Go to buyraycon.com/KitandKrysta to get 20% off. Thanks to Raycon for sponsoring.
We will put the link right over here with a QR code for you to scan and also in the description below.
All right.
Puppy she's chasing after a Raycon right now.
She knows that a guest is afoot.
Yes.
Welcome, Sean. Here we go.
We're joined by very special guest, Sean Velasco from Yacht Club Games.
Welcome.
Oh my gosh, Sean.
Hi.
We're so glad that you're here. Welcome.
Yeah, it's been a minute, huh?
Yes.
We found
really
this
has.
great photo from 2014 where
goodness.
we had at Nintendo this big kind of eShop event
For
that
the Wii
Right.
you were at. I remember
I
that
remember.
day very
Yeah, of
vividly.
course. Same.
And we discovered that you and I have traded hair lengths over the years. At that time, my hair was very short and yours was very long, and now mine is long.
Right. That's right. Yeah, we've gone. You tug on one end and it sort of comes out. The other side, I guess,
there must be balance.
A connected hair universe. My very core memory of that event was obviously playing Shovel Knight for the first time, but also me playing Shovel Knight very badly for the first time. And Sean, you were so patient. I remember I was so embarrassed while I like really fumbled and like just kind of like did a terrible job playing this game. And you were like so patient. You were like, oh, you just need to bounce on that book there. And you were so nice. And I was like, I want to crawl under a rock and die. I'm so embarrassed. I'm really bad at platforming games. And I usually don't like to play them at events because it's embarrassing. But you were so sweet and so kind. And I was like, I felt so bad. I was like, it's not the game.
Yeah.
Just me. I love
that's so
game.
Nice. What a nice memory. I'm happy to
You're like, that doesn't sound like me.
I'm really happy to hear that. And it's true. I mean, I love watching people play the game and watching people not understand the game and then be developing an understanding for it and then overcoming that's like that's what I love about making games and designing games in the first place. And yeah, so of course, like falling down is a part of the learning process.
Yeah, and with Mina the Hollower, you had this wonderful reviewer Discord, which we had a chance to be a part of. And it's like, this is that's a
good idea,
special thing, and a great idea, especially for a game like Mina. Like, we were kind of like solving problems together, like giving each other support. It's like, wow. I kind of just want this Discord to continue on forever.
It felt like the schoolyard days again, when you would go to school the next day and be like, did you get through that dungeon last night?
Yeah.
Like, how did you do it? I was stuck here.
It's cool, and it's kind of a rare thing too, right? Because this was before the game had come out and before there was internet information and YouTube videos available. So the only place that anyone could talk about that stuff was in that Discord.
I certainly needed the help.
Yes, it was very useful.
Yeah. It was super fun as developers also to jump in there and see everyone like figuring it all out and discovering all the secrets kind of at the same time.
Right.
Yeah, really, really cool. Do other companies or do other developers not have a Discord like that? I thought that might be a common thing.
I have not seen one like
that it was operating like that one.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just the nature of the game where more people were looking to be more active there and there were more secrets and things like that.
Yeah, and more like like diverging paths and things like that. I feel like people do like review guides and that's a little like more dry. This kind of interactivity with other people that were kind of in the same boat as you was really special, honestly. And it was a great experience. So
that's
kudos.
Cool. Cool. Yeah, that's really neat. That's the kind of thing that can only happen once, right? You can only like learn everything about the game and do that like one time. Once all the secrets have been discovered and they're like out there. And Mina has a ton of secrets, but they got all discovered pretty quickly.
Yeah. People are faster than ever these days. I'm like, how are you doing this? You're not sleeping at all for 48 hours or whatever.
Right. Whoever the biggest savant is at every game now, it can reach them directly and they can play it, and it's just like
exactly. It's a different world.
Power of the internet.
Well, we have a lot to catch up on, and we kind of want to start with the run up to the launch of Mina, because from us just kind of like observing it, there was sort of an interesting energy in the air leading up to it. And we kind of want to start with, a little bit before the game came out. I think you were the one who made this statement saying that it was a make or break game for Yacht Club. And I'm sure that that's a thought that a lot of developers have had to themselves that you don't always hear like verbalized in the public. And I'm wondering if you had any like specific motivation or reasoning for putting that out there.
I mean, that had less to do with us and more to do with Jason Schreier, right? Who interviewed all of us around the end of the development cycle for Mina after I think he came right when we were announcing the delay. And so and he didn't know he was supposed to be there like for the game coming out, but instead it was like a surprise, we're announcing a delay, and that was the story that he got out of it. I think I said this is a make or break game. Well, I guess I feel like for most companies, for most games, their next game is like a make or break game, unless you're a huge company, or unless you're making a whole bunch of games at once. And by make or break, I didn't necessarily mean like, we're going to shutter as a studio or like everything's going to explode. I just meant like, in order to keep going how we're going, and in order to keep developing games how we need for Mina to be a hit, a similar hit to Shovel Knight. Like if we want to keep being a company that is at the level of making Shovel Knight things, we need to keep putting out games that sell Shovel Knight numbers. That's that's like just math. So in that way, it was make or break. You're only as good as the last game you made, I think I said to Jason as well. But I think he pulled that and ran with it, and then it like hit on. It was like a Bloomberg article, and then everyone was like people were messaging me, like like work people, like associates. Hey, are you guys okay? Do you guys need funding, or like is everything all right? And, so it was actually like it made big waves. I would say overall it was much more like I'd say it was overblown. I definitely didn't mean for it to be like, oh, watch out, guys, we're going to go out of business. But it made it feel like an underdog story.
Yes.
And I feel like that was, that was like a good piece of journalism that like really helped us figure out like what our story was as well. Right. Until he said it back to us. I guess I wasn't really like thinking about it in those kinds of terms. Yeah. So I don't know. We're always, we're just kind of thinking about what the quality of the game and making sure that the game is good. And we've always had a very, if you build it, they will come kind of attitude. Well, and we put a lot of work into marketing the game and explaining what it is and making it look good and making merchandise and trying to make the best possible thing around all of that. You can't just make the game. But good thing we did not break, not yet.
Speaking of the marketing, I think it was a few weeks before it came out, there was this interesting moment where you guys shared, you guys had these great kind of series of videos that you were releasing, and this was about like the accessibility and the customization features, and I saw that and I was like, well, this is great. This a lot of people can benefit from this, and this is kind of in line with some of the stuff that we saw in Shovel Knight. And then I like came back to that like a day later, and there was all this like outrage about it, and like people were mad about it. I was like, what's happening here? Like, I'm just curious about your reaction when that was happening, because I was confused by that.
Yeah, I mean, we were trying to make videos that showcase the features of the game, and there were some features of the game that seemed like they were going to be complicated, so we needed to explain them, like but like how the money works in the economy, and like how the whipping and burrowing works. Like we anticipated people might be worried that, or might not like that there was not a dodge roll in the game, or that there wasn't an instant like parry type of thing. So we made videos about like, hey, here's what we're thinking about this, and here's like why it's good. And we did the same thing with the modifiers, which were a thing from Shovel Knight, which were in Shovel Knight we had like 250 different cheats, and you could activate them all by entering them in the profile menu, and it was just like it was like Game Genie sort of, or like entering cheat codes on the NES. Game Genie was like a thing for, I've got to explain it now, right? For young, it's like Game Genie was like a thing on the Nintendo that like slotted in between the cartridge, and it was an add-on that let you put in your own cheat codes for whatever game, and cheat codes that the developers didn't even intend, and so they were extra wacky. They would let you have infinite lives, or Mario would jump and he would just like go up off the screen, and it's like, well, because the physics got turned off. Things that were just weird, things that broke the game, etc. And so that's what we wanted to do for Shovel Knight. Also have weird cheats, big head mode, colors going everywhere, wacky stuff, infinite lives, God mode, running on the pits, easier things also, big high jumps, infinite lives, etc. That's what we did for Shovel Knight. And with Mina, we just did the same thing, except they were more labeled, and you could have all of them on simultaneously, which you couldn't do in the original Shovel Knight. And we added a lot more. We just added a lot more, and including accessibility modifiers. And I really tested them. We didn't really test Shovel Knight with I didn't have a 6-year-old nephew to test it on at that time, right? So the clientele that we were testing it out on was definitely like different. But when I put it in front of him, there's a certain groups of modifiers that were really let him play the game and enjoy it more, like the platforming stuff. He was just like, he just wanted to like run around and like do the combat and was learning that, right? So I put platforming modifiers on, boom, he's good to go. And this was just a cool way to play the game. So we decided to group the modifiers more into groups that people could have, and it's like an assist mode and an explore mode. Like if you're, for like very young people, or if you just want to run through the game, or also like for debug purposes, like when I want to show the game to people and I want to show Bone Beach and I don't have a save data, then now there's a code that you can, or a modifier that you can just like add in and it takes you there. So it's like for every reason, for accessibility, for if you want to make, just like, yeah, right, if you're a busy person and you don't want to take the time, if you want to make the game harder for yourself because you're a super Nintendo pro that's been playing all this stuff for a zillion years, you could do that too. There's also like 7 new game pluses, like Dark Souls style. One of the things with Mina is it was a very difficult game, more difficult than Shovel Knight, and so we also anticipated that like we might need a release valve on some of that stuff for people, just so they don't like walk away, or like also people just hate mechanics like you lose your bones when you die, right? People, I mean, and I just kept hearing that at like at PAX or whatever. Well, do you lose all your bones when you die? Oh, that sucks. I like hate that. It's like, well, yes, that's the point. You were supposed to, that's like it's a risk, right? It's a risk. But if that stops you from playing it, right? Like I have a friend that loves getting 100%, and if he misses something and he can't get 100% in the game anymore, and it's like not gettable, then it's like, it like ruins his day. He's like, why am I even playing this game? We had to make sure to accommodate for people like that as well, like making sure that you could get everything. Like the game is designed in a friendly, overall the game is designed like in a friendly way because it's so tough. Anyway, those are a zillion rambling thoughts about it.
Did you have like either yourself or as a studio like a number in mind for what the reviews, like what the overall score might be, and did you beat that?
I mean, we obviously, the game was very well reviewed and we were super happy about it. We hold ourselves to a very high standard, and we don't really we weren't thinking about like reviews, I guess, in terms of like, oh, I hope we get, I mean, of course we were like, oh, I hope we get the 10s. I hope we get 9s and 10s. I hope we get 9s and 10s. And yeah, that's what we got. That was like super, super great. We knew that the game was good. We were confident that this was our best game ever, and that it was very dense and full of stuff, and that it was like difficult, and that it had like some rough edges, and we didn't know how people would react. So the fact that we got pretty universally praised was very, very, very cool. Sigh of relief, hands on my hips. Yeah, we did it. Lightning struck twice, baby. Yeah, right. We did it. We made two cool IPs now. So that's really neat. It feels good to have finished making the whole Shovel Knight thing and the whole Mina thing, and made all these games and this franchise, and now it's like doing a different thing felt different, and like a cool accomplishment in another way. But the first one was the 10 from IGN, which we were going to go on a podcast and with them, and then about 2 minutes before, they're like, hey, guess what, we're giving you guys a 10. And, all right, wow. Now you're on. Okay, now you're on. And so David and I were just like and we got a little, we got
in the moment, celebration.
Surprised. Yeah, that was neat.
Did you make a lot of changes after you received feedback from that demo that you released?
Let me see. The demo was pretty much the first level of the game, and I know we knocked down the boss. That everyone got stuck on Hulk Trooper at the end, and like that was like David, programmer, is like holding the line. He's like, I won't make the boss easier. I'm not going to make it easier. I won't do it. And then something happened. I think he watched someone, or like maybe it was like his brother or someone got just like couldn't beat the boss, and he's like, I relent. I have to do it.
You relented.
Yes. So
in a way,
right.
The boss.
Yeah.
He was, yes, he was the final, yes, he truly is the final boss. So yeah, we made some things easier. But very little, I would say. Most of the stuff that changed from the demo to the final game was just polished stuff, like and that applied to the entire game.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a bunch of questions from our community who are big Yacht Club fans and really enjoyed collectively playing through Mina with everybody, like we were having in that reviewer Discord. We have a question from Rob Easy. Cool. I love playing Mina the Hollower. It was a fantastic adventure with a good bit of challenge that wasn't too overwhelming or soul-crushing. My question for Sean is that I was wanting to know what were the inspirations for the design of Mina herself. She kind of reminds me of someone from the Belmont family mixed with Mrs. Brisby from The Secret of Nim. And it's a very intriguing combination from both things that have sort of darker tones and themes. Big thanks to you and everybody at Yacht Club Games for creating such an awesome game. It was well worth the wait.
Wow. Well, thank you for that effusive praise. That's very kind. And that Mina design, you were right on the money. I forget your name. But I mean, it is like, yeah, it's very much like it's very much like Don Bluth or Disney style art. And yeah, of course, Mrs. Brisby and the Rats of Nim, like Fievel and all. I mean, there's all that Disney stuff runs very deep.
The Rescue.
And yeah, and also the dark shadows and the rim lighting is very like Majora's Mask, like that like neon magenta rim light, and those black shadows is like very Majora's Mask inspired, and some of the illustrated art. Of course, Castlevania is a big inspiration, and her outfit is like, that's standard vampire hunter attire, more or less. Yeah, right. Yeah, she's got the whole get up, except for pants, I guess. Which
mouse cartoon characters don't wear pants.
That's what we're learning. Yeah, there's a whole note. We did a bundle with Pseudo Regalia, which is another game, a 3D platformer that features a female like goat kind of character that also like doesn't wear pants, and everyone was like making art of the two characters together, like over like the no pants
gal squad
crew. Yeah, exactly. No pants. Yes, but all those designs are totally right on the money. I mean, of course, also visually in the pixel art, we were inspired by games all over the Game Boy Color and from Nintendo and from Dragon Quest and Link's Awakening and the Oracle of Ages and Seasons games and games on Neo Geo Pocket Color and 1,000 games I'm forgetting. I mean, we really looked at like every top-down game and a lot of handheld and pocket games to see how they made their art and how they did their rendering and how their menus looked and how their characters looked, etc. And we tried to we took inspiration from it, and what we thought was cool, we grabbed it and synthesized it into Mina. Yeah, but I mean, really, our inspirations are like everywhere. And whenever we do get inspired by something, we try not to totally rip it off, or we try to do our own take on it. If it's like if we're gonna like rip something off, then we have to like do something interesting with it, so it's not a waste.
Inspiration.
Right. How did you land on the Game Boy Color aesthetic? Because it definitely gives a really unique feel that you don't see in a lot of games. I feel like Color Grave is maybe one of the only other studios who's doing a lot in that space. But I imagine it also comes with some limitations as well, just from like how you are displaying all the visuals.
Yeah, I mean the biggest limitation isn't the colors and stuff, it's the pixel size and the tininess of all of that. Like just rendering a sentence on the screen takes up so much space that like we have to be careful about how much the characters are saying and how many times you're like prompting that text box, and like it can't like it takes up everything takes up so much space on that screen, on the small resolution of the virtual screen that we're making, which is the same height as Game Boy Color but stretched out longer for widescreen. So things like making jumps, Mina jumping vertically. You just can't, if we on the bicycle, the Iron Steed, you can go maybe 5 tiles, six tiles, and you can't see what the hell you're doing. That was the absolute max. That was like the max that we could do. And I don't think we have anything that we don't have any vertically scrolling rooms that scroll more than 6 tiles vertically, because you just can't see what you're looking at. Even I mean, this is a huge part of Shovel Knight also in any kind of 2D game, is like what you can actually see on the screen is like so important. What draws your eye, and yeah, doing it for Mina was definitely it was definitely tough. And making a top-down game, you might think it is like similar, or it's so different from making a side-scrolling game, even though they're both like 2D. And the way that Mina, we really also pushed how the platforming works in a 2D game, but it's all fake. It's not like a character jumping on a block. It's like, where am I in 2D space?
Yeah.
Right. The game it's not really 3D. I mean, it's like rendered in 3D, but the characters, they like move on layers, and it's not like you're actually like some games like Link Between Worlds are actually 3D, and you do move in 3D space, but not Mina. So figuring all that out was a crazy thing too. I mean, just all the design stuff, from a visual to gameplay to everything, is just very influenced by the platform that we chose. And the reason we chose it, that was the other part of your question, is because we wanted to do a follow-up from NES. We wanted to make something new and cool that would stretch our limits, but also be somewhat familiar to us and to the people that would be playing our games. And so we went a little bit further in the future, made a cool handheld game. And the Shovel Knight Dig kind of already had that Super Nintendo aesthetic, so it's like we were already steeped in that. And we're working on a 3D game that is not announced, but so that's like a whole other thing that we're doing. It's like we wanted to try it all out. We wanted to make a game that was like our Zelda, a game that had a different visual, a game that pushed us, but it was familiar. So
you mentioned Shovel Knight Dig. We have a question about that, believe it or not, from
hey.
Iris Marin. Thank you for answering questions. Are you thinking of making any spin-offs for Mina the Hollower in the same vein as Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon or Shovel Knight Dig?
Oh, there you go.
Wow.
I mean, Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon and Dig were both really fun projects, and they both helped stretch Shovel Knight and let us do cool games. But also, it was like a very large amount of effort, and we spread ourselves too thin when we were making Mina, which is why it took 6 years when we thought it was going to take 2 years. And we split into two teams during the production as well. We were working on the 2D game and the 3D game, and Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon, which is a co-development with another studio, but we're still doing a lot of work on that, and Shovel Knight Dig, and we were putting out Cyber Shadow, which is not a co-development exactly, but we did a lot of work on that, publishing work, all just too much stuff, right? And so now the Mina is done. We're gonna focus back in, and we're gonna probably not do a lot of Mina side games, or maybe if the perfect opportunity came by. I mean, of course, we're always like, this seems like good idea. Maybe we could do this, but we're really trying. We're really trying not to, right? We're trying not to get our fingers stuck in too many pies. We want to focus on our next project and not do too many spin-offs. But that would be so fun. I mean, I'd be lying if I said I didn't have a pitch doc for Mina Monsters and for Mina Pocket Dungeon. So, but probably not. We're not going to do that.
Far off for a moment there.
You did.
You're right.
You do have Mina coming to Rivals of Aether 2, right?
Yes, I was just looking at a bunch of stuff for that. Right.
Oh, that's so fun.
Are you guys very involved in giving feedback to how she plays in that? The whole announcement was thrown together in the last 5 seconds before Evo. So there was really nothing. There was nothing. It was just for the Evo announcement. And now we're really getting into the nitty gritty on the design of the character. And nice. I mean, it's like their game, so I probably shouldn't. I don't even know what I would say. We're talking about her moves. They're pitching everything. I mean, they're like Smash Bros geniuses. They know what
they are. They're amazing. So
the Shovel Knight was so good in Rivals of Aether in the original and they designed that whole thing too. I remember they showed us the Shovel Knight design, and we're like, guys, this seems like too much. It's like, why does does he have to have a chest and he buys like 20 different things? And it's like, does Shield Knight have to like come out when you parry? Like, it's like that's rendering a whole nother character. We're like, it doesn't. It could just we that's what we said. We're like, this seems like it's maybe like too much. It could just be like simpler. That was our feedback. So they really always go overboard, and they're just like Sakurai, they do a really good job capturing all of the things that make the character so cool and putting them into their universe.
Yeah.
So Mina, there's Mina skins that are cool, that show Mina in weird different ways. There's a bunch of Mina moves that are going to be all in there. She's going to have a voice.
Oh.
Wow.
What should her voice sound like?
So this is the first time we'll hear her talk.
Yeah.
Rivals. Okay. Wow. That's kind of a cool. That's a cool thing. Yeah.
Yeah, she's going to be like a fully rendered, fleshed out 3D character. So
my goodness, how amazing! Yeah. Well, we can't wait.
That's going to be neat.
Mina for Smash. Let's get that going.
Mina for Smash.
Moving on. So you were kind of going into the mechanics of like the jumping and all of that, and I think like that's one of the hallmarks of your games is just the feel being so perfect. And as the player, it's something we notice. This feels great to play, but from a development standpoint, how do you tune that? Like, is there a way that you can explain that to somebody who is not a developer?
Yeah, that's a tough one, because what one defines as game feel can mean like so many different things, right? When you say a game has like tight controls, we actually made a video about this. Like when you say a game has like tight controls or loose controls, like what does that actually mean, or like what does that actually entail? I think a lot of it is having the well, in the case of a platformer at least, which we'll talk about platformers or action games, it's not just the character, it's the context of the character and the environment. So like what makes the controls tight is like if you can actually move so you could stop for whatever you need to stop before, right? Like Super Mario Bros, you might say Mario has really loose, like sloppy controls, because he has like big like acceleration, and like in the air he really, it's like he lurches around, but like that's the fun of it, right? Just landing him on a pipe is hard. That's the fun of the game, is like that the way that it feels. Meanwhile, in Mega Man, it's like a little bit different. In Mega Man, he moves like a mouse cursor left and right when you're in the air. Like there's literally no acceleration, because you got to jump on a blocks like this. And it's like, if you couldn't, Mario would have he wouldn't be able to jump on blocks like that as quickly as that. Does that mean that Mario has like sloppy or tight or like loose controls? I guess that's one aspect of it, making sure that the character and the environment work in tandem with one another. Also, I would say accommodating for different types of players, or for yourself in your best and worst moments. Like I try to play through the game. I try to play through the game using the minimum amount of jumps or the minimum amount of skill, or like I don't understand it, or I think we do a lot of testing and imagining how things work in order to improve those things. But a lot of that needs to just be tested from real people as well. And we use ourselves as guinea pigs most of the time. Yeah. Oh, we're having trouble jumping over the thing, then we need to make the jump. We need to make the jump better. There's also a zillion tiny little details. Like, for instance, when Mina jumps over a pit, she has more hang time than when she jumps over the normal ground, because when you're jumping over a pit, you need to make it, but when you're jumping in the normal ground, you need to get into the ground because you need to be burrowing more quickly, right? Usually you're in a combat scenario, so it's like it's like 5 more frames when you're in the air, when you're over a pit. Things like Mina's shadow flickers when she is over a pit, and it's solid when you're over solid ground, which may be something that you only subtly notice, or like maybe you don't even notice, or maybe you do, and then you realize just subconsciously, you're like, oh, it's flickering, I like can't jump on that. Same thing, like Mina sweats when you're near a edge. And so the same way, Sonic like does this. It's cute, but it's also like meaningful information that's letting you know that you're near something. All of that stuff adds up to feeling like polish, or you feel like you understand the character. I guess that's another thing, is like feedback on your character, making sure that when something happens that that the player knows that something is happening. When you press a button and it doesn't do anything, that makes it kind of, once again, a Mario. That's a bad thing in Mario. When you press the B button, nothing happens. So you're like, so it's like, well, does something work? And you'll notice they added it to 3D Mario. Now, when you press B, Mario goes like this, right? Just to give you, so you're like, oh,
this feedback,
it makes him run. That's like, I presume they added that just to make it just a little bit of clear feedback. So anyway, all those things add together to make game polish and game feel. And I'm sure every genre has 100,000 little tips to make, like the RTS with the interface, or they don't make RTSs anymore, a MOBA, whatever, auto chess interface. They're all just to make that kind of stuff feel good too. And I would say one thing that I would caution for game developers is to get too caught up in things that you might like, to get too caught up in like fancy visual effects, or like when the character goes fast, you change the FOV and it looks like it's going fast. Like, you can do that at the end, right? But first you need to make sure that the player actually is going faster, like they feel like they're going fast in the real environment, and then you can add the FOV afterwards, just like as icing on the cake. But if you put that first, or if you just put a million particles and explosions all over the screen, then you're distracting from what the actual core of the gameplay is, right? And that's like what
relying on something else rather than the action itself, which is tough for the player.
Exactly.
How much of that was new learning and new experimentation, because you're going to a new genre, basically? Or like, how much is transferred from Shovel Knight versus like, oh, we have to figure this out?
I'd say a lot of it was all new, like balancing the leveling system and making RPG stuff. That was all new to us, and figuring that out was a lot of the fun of it, right? We wanted to make a Zelda 2 style thing where as soon as you leveled up, boom, it says level up, and you're forced to make a decision of what you're going to do, and you can't carry, or you can carry your bone balance, but you have to do something, right? You can't just sit on your laurels and hold a bunch of cash. And when we did that, it made it, when you have leveling, then you have grinding, and we wanted to make the game unlike a Zelda. Instead of being gated by items, we wanted it to be gated by difficulty, like more like a Dark Souls kind of game, where you run into an enemy and they're like too difficult, or they're providing some kind of weird challenge in some other way that's stopping you from passing. And that was a really tough challenge. How do you make an over-leveled enemy that forces the player to turn around? Because like, players love a challenge, right? They're like, I'm going to keep grinding on this boss until I don't care if I die a million times, I'll do it. And but sometimes that's good, and sometimes that's not good. And so like controlling that behavior, letting players grind if they wanted to, but not too much, right? Like, we had some play testers at the office that would find grinding spots, or I could go here and go back to the underlab, and we would have to knock those areas down and take the underlab out, or make it more difficult to balance stuff. So yeah, that balancing the game, doing the rewards and the totals, doing the interconnectivity between the whole game, that was a new thing. That was so fun and hard and awesome, making that whole interconnected world. Because at first it was like almost like Majora's Mask style, where it's like there's 4 or 6 areas, and then a very basic
like
donut,
that
like is kind of leading them all together. And that's another reason the game took longer, is because we stopped part of the way through development and made this into a more cohesive world that had more connections in it, and had all these overworlds, like all of the overworlds, which are like there's the Crypt, and then there's Night's Rest, and then before that there's the Eastern Heath, and then there's Osix. All of these areas are connected up together, and we had to really plan all of that out in advance. So it's like each area has exactly one connection to the other one, and you can go up one way but not the other way, or like, there's a lock that you have to unlock from this direction and from this direction. Or if you're in the later level, then screw it, you can just unlock the whole thing, because who cares? All it does is get you back to level 1. So like, making all, like, having all of those insights and figuring all of that out was was really fun. Now on the next game, which like didn't have. I'm like already starting to think about like, oh, how are we gonna like connect everything up? And the game isn't even like demanding that. I said, when you go on to the next game, which is starting now, you're whatever is left from the last game is still like there.
Oh, so you're thinking about it. Like, I didn't get to put that in to the last one, so now my next game is the chance
we can do it
to
better,
put.
we can do more.
That's cool.
Or what was important as well, right? Like, what it was, so we got to make the balance right, and so then you think about the next game, you're like the balance.
Oh,
but then that's like that
lingers.
ends up right, but that ends up not being what's important, and you miss whatever the next thing is. That's how it all. That's
forever a nebulous black box.
Yeah, definitely.
Something that's so cool about Mina is like all the different ways that you can play it in terms of like creating your own build out of not just the weapons, but all the other stuff that you're equipping. And I feel like I barely scratched the surface when I was playing through it. Like, do you have a like this is my favorite way,
build.
or I like this like oddball build that's interesting that more people should try?
My loadout is, I gotta say, I think the Buster is my favorite. The battery Buster, the switch weapon that you can shoot projectiles. I think early game Carry the Wisp is like goated. Which is lets you just hold the button and float, and you can go over a couple of extra tiles, and you don't unlike most of the sidearms, like which you could do with the parasol or the buckler, you can use that to cross, but if you die, then you're at your host. Carry the Wisp, you can turn with Carry the Wisp and like go around corners. You could do a bunch of junk with Carry the Wisp, and you could get it in the very beginning of the game just with going right on Ossix, so that's a good one. I mean, Vascular Syrup is probably the best relic, at least, or whatever they're called. Trinkets. Relic. I like relic. Arcana. Relic. Arcana. In Plague Knight they're called Arcana. In Shovel Knight they're called relics. In Key Knight they're called heirlooms. And in Spectre Knight they're called curios. And in Mina they're called trinkets.
You think of a different name for that for the next one.
Give me a break. That's why the next one has to be a sequel to one of those.
Thingamabob.
Thingers.
We're giving it to you for free right now.
Thingamabob. I'm writing it right down. Vascular Syrup, because it makes it so you can't die from damage. It makes your health bar decrease slowly, and as long as you heal before it hits zero,
I did use that.
Boom.
I used that on the final boss.
I was going to ask you to tell Sean how you cheese the final boss.
I came up with some combination. I was like, this is kind of cheesy, but it's working for me. I was having some trouble with the final boss. It's like that's fair. A good game. I'm happy with this.
Yeah,
so you use that vascular syrup, and then you were just like hitting the boss.
Yeah,
but how long did it take you? Like 20 minutes?
I am getting hammered, but my life is going down very slowly.
Nice. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, that's all that matters. It's really good in New Game Plus too, because once the damage starts to scale, then it's just like totally insane.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I love that. The combo capacitor is fun too. If you don't miss, which is hard, but you can get just like a ton of damage by stacking combo capacitor, uranium bracelet, and what's the one where you do like 1 in 10 chance you do a extra electricity zap, and you could just melt people, especially with the Buster, because you're like and it's chance on hit, and so it's like 5% chance, procs more. So we're doing Diablo.
Wow.
This is Diablo.
Okay, it's awesome. I love it.
I mean, something for me just playing the game, and I grew up playing all the games that inspired this. It felt to me like this was like the final exam of everything I learned through all my years of playing these games. I loved it for that. But I do wonder, like, more and more players are not born in a year that starts with 19.
The 1900s.
How do you take that into consideration making games now that a lot of the audience didn't grow up with those frames of reference at all?
Well, we were all 5-year-olds playing Mega Man in 1980. My cohort was that.
That's us
but
too.
But the 5-year-old is still, it's the same 5-year-old, that even now. So if you hand them Mega Man, they can have like the same exact time, and that it still works. I guess what I mean is the type of game and the gameplay is timeless. And the only weirdness is accommodating for the modern people, I guess. Like our game doesn't do a lot of like touch screen. Our game is so different, I guess, from a lot of the other games out there that it's hard to apply a lot of the same rules to it. So when you see it, unless you're like a Zelda player or like a Nintendo player, right? If you're not like a game player, and you're just looking at it, then it's a little bit difficult to like know it from some other kind of thing, or like from an iPad, or like you have to pick up a controller and actually like learn a skill the same way that you were learning to, I don't know, play chess or tennis or something. So it just feels like a totally different, I guess for me, yeah, like playing a platformer or like an adventure game or something. It's like a totally different thing, something that a child or an adult or anyone could be into the same way that you're into, I don't know, wasn't into music or into Vine or into 90s games, right? Like now the kids working at Yacht Club, or they're like, oh, I was like into retro games. I played my first Nintendo game was on Animal Crossing, on the download card. They're like, that's how I played Nintendo games, and it's like, what is all this? These games are great. And after that, I got into like tons of Nintendo games. That's literally the story. That's Alec, who is the designer at Yacht Club that made Mina. Is like the first time he played NES games was on Animal Crossing.
Wow! Oh, that's incredible. The arcade inside of Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, like on the e-reader?
Yes.
All right, we're moving on. We have
Alex,
we need to have a word with you. We have a Mina lore question from Loom Doom. In Mina the Hollower, many characters and their relationships are deeply rooted to past events. In the game, we get some hints as to what happened, but a lot of things are left unsaid. What was the intention of Yacht Club for this writing decision?
Wow.
Well, I guess what past events are left unsaid? That's so cryptic.
What is the Mina? What is the Mina timeline? Is this like the Zelda timeline?
Where does it diverge?
Is there a diversion?
No, I think the Mina timeline, as far as I knew, was relatively straightforward. I guess, as far as past events left unsaid, I mean, we know that 10 years ago, Mina oversaw the construction of the spark generators, and then went back home or whatever. And now it's 10 years later. She's being summoned back to the island. So is there a question? I guess there's, we talk a little bit about Mina's past. We know that she is somewhat erudite and arrogant. But we know that she is like blue-blooded, right? Like she had a cotillion group, and she's like in with Lionel. She was like a young, smart, athletic genius that could do anything, right? And what else? We have a character that they explore a little bit of their past, where she talked about running on a training wheel or something, or he's like, oh yeah, you were like copying off my homework, like she was a student that excelled. I don't know. I wouldn't call it being cryptic. It's just like world building, right? And as Yacht Club, we always try to do that. Is we say we'll have a character that says, oh, hey there, I remember you from a while ago. Are you still, whatever? Are you still an arrogant athletic mouse? And you're like, I see, that's what she's like. And you tick each of those boxes. Yeah, I mean, it also gives us plenty of room to play. Like we love in Shovel Knight how we got to weave everything in and do some George Lucas style retconning and make all of the characters and events weave into one another. Yeah. And you need to leave some stubs like that in the game, so that way if you come back to it later, or if you want to, and also you just want to like hint at things, right? Like sometimes you can just have a tiny little bit of world building that hints at something that's really huge that you never even considered. And you have to jam the game absolutely full of stuff like that, because people, everything that you notice, there's probably like 10 things that you didn't notice. And like how many entertainment properties have you enjoyed and like not realized that one of the characters' names is like a pun, or is a parody of something else, right? Like I was just listening to oh god, it was some like Rodgers and Hammerstein, like a theatrical, like a musical, and then I realized that one of the songs from Book of Mormon, which is another musical, was a complete ripoff of the song that it was the ending song of Hairspray is exactly like the ending song of Book of Mormon. And I didn't even realize it. And I was listening, but I was listening to the ending song of Hairspray. I was like, wait a minute, this is familiar. And then I looked it up, and it was like, oh yeah, this is an obvious parody. Everybody knew except for me. So
it all goes back to the Mina timeline. In
right.
So in the run up to Shovel Knight, you were using this new tool that was, oh my gosh, Kickstarter. Wow, what a new idea, what a novel thing.
Amazing.
And that was, a part of what made that game and the run up to that so unique. You're using that again with Mina. Like, what is your goal of doing a Kickstarter these days?
Well, I mean, it's pretty much the same goal that we had in the beginning, which is to raise awareness for the game. I guess to gauge excitement for the game, or to see. I mean, so far we put everything into it, and they both hit. But I guess we could have had one, and it was a big flop, and we're like, oh, I guess people don't want this game. Maybe we shouldn't make it. But that could be helpful feedback. And of course, we can always use the money. That's good, and just the marketing basically we found to be really worth it. And you have an army of 15,000 people that already are invested in your game and are excited about it and will evangelize about it. And one other thing I should mention is the community collaboration stuff, like the directors for a day and the NPC directors for a day and all that. Those are so fun, and they added so much to the game. Like, for instance, Maxie, your foil character, was a director for a day. The Dugan and the kids that you're chasing after, that was a director for a day. The brother, the weaponsmith brother that you fight underneath the lava area, is a director for a day character. There's like all of those, like so many of those NPCs that we would have never come up with, like the pumpkin that moves around and he has a big long tongue and he licks the ground everywhere. that was a director for a day. And they're like, we want to have a pumpkin that tastes the ground. And we're like, okay, that sounds great. Yeah. And so then we had, and so you go under him and he tastes you, and he's like, oh, I want to taste something. He's like, I wish I could taste something spicy or like acidy or whatever. And you equip one of those, you equip the relic, the bio relic, and you go under him. He's like,
I had to figure out what's going on with that.
Yeah. Right. So, that also, the collaboration aspect of the Kickstarter was really fun. So lots of reasons, and the biggest one is just being able to remain independent. And if we were to go to a publisher, then we wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah. So you came from Way Forward, which has this cool history of doing like actually good licensed games, and I'm wondering, like, if the right opportunity came along, are you open to working on an IP that is not your own?
Well, I mean, we did add Kratos and Battletoads to Shovel Knight. Mm-hmm. That was one thing. Generally, we're not. We want to own what we do, and we want to be able to control what we do. And when you have a license, then usually, especially when it comes to like marketing the game and like showing it to people, and like we wouldn't have been able to maybe extend our development timeline for as much time. So yeah, when you get more stakeholders in there, it makes it more difficult. Unless we needed to, I think, for financial reasons, we probably wouldn't do a license. We probably wouldn't do a licensed game. But never say never, right? That's just what I'm saying. We got to. Maybe everyone else would say yes, and then I'd have to work on it. Yeah.
I'm sure you notice it as well. Like, there's just so much bad news about the game industry going around, and I'm just wondering, like, in terms of your job of like running the studio and all the things that you do, like, has it gotten significantly more challenging, the environment, over the for as long as you've been doing this?
Well, it's always been hard. my first company was called Happy Fun Team, and that was before I worked at WayForward. We only made one game for Series 60 phones, like Razor phones.
Oh, wow. Flip phones, yeah.
Flip phones. We made flip phone games and Brew and J2
back to the year
handsets.
19.
It was 20.
Yeah,
no. This was 2000. This was like 2003. 2003, probably, when we made Nightmare Before Christmas for mobile, which was the first game that we made, like with my own company that we made. But then after that, then we didn't like get another deal, and we didn't get paid that much to make that game in the first place. We were just happy to have any kind of deal or to be making any kind of game professionally at all. So that, we didn't know what the hell we were doing as a company. We couldn't make it work. And so I went to work at WayForward and learned a lot about making games and making licensed games. And WayForward went through a downturn, right? That was in 2008. There was a studio called Brash, which briefly existed and put out games like Space Chimps. They were working on the Flash game. There's a bunch of other things. They were like some kind of VC thing, and we had like 3 projects with them, and their funding got pulled, and so our projects all got canceled all at once. And WayForward we had to like furlough a bunch of people, and like we had to scramble and like get these projects going. And it was hard. It was hard back then. We were always worried about the studio closing, or about like we got to get another deal, or like when you're doing work for hire projects, then if you're late, then that's on you, and you don't make the money back, right? Like it's not like if we sell a bunch of copies, like when it's done, it's done. So that was hard too. We had to get the game done in time, because like that was time is money in that case. And sometimes as indie devs, time isn't money, right? Like, because if you put in more time, then you could earn more money. And I guess it's still money in some kind of equation. Anyway, not a programmer. But of course. But yeah, nowadays, right, we were doing Kickstarter because we didn't want to go with a publisher, and we wanted to do our own thing. That was, if you didn't have that, then how would you have made a game back then in 2014, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unless you either were independently wealthy or working at home, or you got money from a vulture capitalist. So it was tough then, unless you had a big hit. And so now, in 2020, then everything all exploded, and no one could work together anymore. And so everyone had to learn how to work remotely. And that was really tough, right? And all the places, lots of companies where you had people all working together, they all got streamed to the winds. Everyone's lives all got turned upside down. And now, corporate consolidation and like Game Pass and all of that has been destroying the value of games for the past however long that is, which is obvious to anyone that as soon as Game Pass was announced, you could tell that that's where that was going. That like, oh well, isn't this gonna like devalue like games? And like, how are they gonna like make money?
Yeah.
Are they purposefully trying to just buy everything and destroy it? I guess I don't know.
I'm not sure they know either.
I don't think anyone knows the answer, including them. Yeah.
Yeah, and so now I think the idea was just to buy everyone, get everything, and then question mark profit.
Yeah, dot.
That's a future me problem.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, and so now, how do you even show your game off? Because platforms are so dispersed, and if you don't get front page placement on something, then it's impossible. And some places, if you're like in the top sales, then you go on there. And some place, if you could like beg to be on their carousel, then you can get some action. How do you even break through? How would you make a game? How would you start a game company or start something now? I don't know. You got to have some kind of sourdough starter, and say, I'm a person that worked on a game, and here we're gonna do a Kickstarter because I worked, Shenmue. We're making a new Shenmue. We're making a game that's a spiritual successor of something else, so players already like have an idea. We're making a game that has key staff that worked on some other game, or like we're inspired but directly by some other game, and we have proof that we can make it somehow. Everyone's out of work. Everyone all got laid off. So I imagine they'll just be there's going to be 100 new indie game companies, because what else are people going to do, right? They're not going to get hired anywhere. So you make an indie game company. So there's probably, my guess is there's going to be a lot of really, really great games,
that no one ever hears
independent
about.
games.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, zillions of them, and it's already happening, right? Like games, we're in such an amazing time for playing games right now. There's so many great games, an overwhelming amount that I didn't even realize, Elden Ring Night Rain existed until the day that it came out. And my friend is like, dude, are you gonna get Night Rain? And I'm like, no, dude, I haven't even finished the original one. And I thought he was talking about the Shadow of the Erdtree, which was like the expansion.
So good.
Yeah, he's like, we could like play it together. We got to play like Night Rain. And I'm like, what? And I like looked it up.
What?
How did I miss this? How did I miss it? And it's because I didn't watch State of Play, and because I just like somehow had not clicked it. And I'm like, I consider myself to at least be a relatively plugged in like game development, like gaming person. So if I miss something that big, right, then who even knows? Who even knows? Yeah, it's a big old wacky fun mess right now. See, this is how Jason Schreier gets his pull quotes.
So it sounds like the answer is yes to that question.
I mean, it's just, I think this is like everyone knows, but no one has the solution.
Right.
It's just we got to see what happens. It's one of those like waited out situations.
Yeah.
And everything's expensive, right? Like,
very expensive. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Gaming is now a very like luxury hobby. Where it wasn't really, I mean, it was definitely still entertainment and extra when we were kids. Like my mom was not buying me like a game every week, but you could at least afford a console for your house, like for the family. Nowadays, everything's $1,000. Like the cheapest thing is $500. Like that's a little rough.
Yeah, the price of entry has just gotten crazier and crazier.
High.
Yeah. And that gives you a smaller group to as a game developer, right? Yeah, that's tough.
The business side of the studio, you're a game developer. Like, were you just kind of like thrown into the fire of that? Did you have somebody like helping you out as you were learning that side of it all?
I mean, I would say, I've always been entrepreneurial, right? Even before Way Forward, I started this other company of doing the Happy Fun Team. And I don't know, before that, I was like, we worked in a group on a team on games at college, like, like group game projects. And I was usually like in some kind of leadership or designer kind of role on there. I don't know. I consider myself to be someone that just kind of like pulls everyone together and like plans it and makes it happen. So I also, and if that means filling whatever kind of gaps that I need to be filled, then I can do that. And so my schooling was like, I went to a school called Cogswell in Northern California, which I think they're called University of something rather now. It was a small school. It was like 2,000 students. And if you would go there, if you wanted to be like a Pixar animator or like a game developer, or they even had like a stop motion thing. Anyway, I got like a very broad education. So I did like programming in C and C++ and Java, 2D animation on paper, like 2D design, color, 3D animation, 3D art, project management, like storyboarding and storytelling, the music. It was very broad, and it was really cool. And then in our off time, we spent all our time like working on games using all the skills that we were like trying to learn and figuring all that out. So yeah, I mean, the business, which I learned so much about it from Way Forward, right? Like, and I was a director there, and so I got to go along to pitch meetings with publishers and to pitch games and to help out and to be on calls and to get yelled at when on the call from the publisher, and it's all of the inner workings of a game development studio that they're an awesome place, and I learned a ton there from them about how to run a game studio as well. And then so much of it is just seat of our pants, like just trying to figure it out. And now that we've been doing it for a long time, it's still, like I said, even when you go into the new game, it's new every time. It still feels new every
still
time.
has some new wrinkles to it.
Yes.
Wow. Incredible, Sean. I mean, it's just so great to see the evolution of Yacht Club. I just can't, I could, because even that first time we sat down and played Shovel Knight on Wii U, it's pretty magical. And there was something magical about what you guys are doing, and it clearly is working, and people are responding to it and loving it. So congrats. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you so much. Yeah,
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's been quite a ride. It's quite a long time
Very
since
true.
that since that wild-haired day on the couch.
It's true. Yeah. What's next for you guys? What are you guys up to?
Well,
while?
we're making trading cards and Steam point shop items and
Ooh.
Steam trading cards
Yeah.
and
Fun.
Sony avatars, and for all of our games, for Dig
Okay.
and Pocket Dungeon and Cyber Shadow. Basically, we had a big backlog of things that we didn't do for about 3 years that were
You finally get around to this to-do list.
Yeah.
right.
Very
Yes. So we're finishing the to-do list, and then we're kicking off the next game. So like I said before, we were already working on a 3D game. We all had to pile on this 2D game to get it done, and so now we're all piling back on the 3D game.
Okay.
And some of us going on to 3D for the first time that don't, then having to learn the ropes on it. Some of us are very experienced on 3D stuff, even more than 2D, and so it's like going home. And yeah, it is a bold new frontier that we have a lot to figure out, but the game is further along than one might think. It uses the same engine as Mina, and it's been in development.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, Mina, at the end of the day, is like a 3D game. They run on the same tech. So,
cool.
yeah, so I said that the game was half done in an interview, and then David's like, I can't believe you said it was half done. So maybe that means it's like less than half done. It's probably more.
1/3 of the way there.
Yeah, it's like third. It's like a third done. A third.
See, look, a third.
Yeah.
I've given you a specific percentage there.
Wow.
There.
Whenever you're ready to talk about it more, obviously we would love to have you back and to hear all the updates. I mean, it's always great. We should make this a more regular thing, just to hang out.
That'd be super fun. That'd be super fun. I'm sure the more Yacht Club burrs would love to come and hang out here as well.
Yes,
we could all
anytime. You're always welcome. Wow, thank you so much for being here. We so super appreciate your time, and yes, you have like the world's biggest Mina fan in front of you. So.
Wow, well, thank you so much.
Even though he cheesed the boss,
it's fine.
That's that's part of the game. That's if it works in the game, then it works. Yeah,
that's you know what?
Words to live by.
Words to live by.
Words to live by.
This is the great ending wisdom from Sean.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right,
and we're back. Wow. Sean is the best.
He really is. He really is.
I learned a lot. That's something. It's like it's always amazing when we can talk to a bona fide game developer and someone who is as accomplished as he is and the Yacht Club are, and for him to just be that open about the process is incredible.
That's what I really appreciate most about him, is he's very honest and truthful. He's not trying to like pull something over. He's not trying to like gatekeep stuff. He's just telling it like it is, and I really appreciate that, and I super learned so much because that's like a world that's a little bit of a mystery to us. So what a wonderful chat that was with Sean. My goodness.
It is. And definitely check out Mina the Hollower if you haven't yet.
Please do.
As you said at the top of the episode, there are all these Zelda actors getting confirmed all of a sudden. We're going to talk about that in our news segment. In just a moment, we got another sponsor to shout out. This episode is sponsored by Lola Blankets. And guess what? You have one with you.
Ta-da!
That is the Lola blanket. Wow.
This is the very... look at how plush this is. I'm going to bring it closer to the camera.
Looks cozy.
It's very soft. It's very cozy. It's one of those blankets that I didn't know that I needed a blanket like this, because I have other blankets, but this is not like any other blanket you've ever owned. It's got like this weight to it, so it really feels kind of like a weighted blanket. So it's very comfortable when you like put it on top of yourself. And I'm all about like getting cozy. You guys know that I'm like primarily a handheld gamer as well. So I'm all about like getting cozy in the blanket and playing my Switch in handheld mode. That is my preferred way to play, is with my Lola blanket as my friend, my security blanket. And I love it. It's so nice. It's like a perfect way to have your personal wind down routine, and the quality is just so nice. I've actually washed this a couple of times, and it's never like gotten like weird after the wash. It's still like super fluffy and super soft. It's not like the dryer like ruined it or something like that. So the quality is amazing.
This is a great gift. I think this is like an underrated gift for somebody. Sometimes you're like racking your mind of like, I don't know what to get. Like, give a Lola blanket. Like, that's something that somebody, somebody's definitely going to love. Somebody's going to use it. It comes in different sizes. There's the large, which I think is the one that you have. And then there is the extra large, which has been called the largest blanket available on the internet. If a large is not enough for you, you can get that extra large and go buck wild on the Lola blanket. Wow.
Yeah, they have different colors too. I'm like, whatever matches your like home aesthetic or whatever. I you know me, I'm a white. Everything in my house is white, so of course I had to get like the classic like white blanket. But they have like tons of colors and patterns, and they're all really, really nice and high quality.
They also have a pet collection, life-changing softness for your pets. They got everything covered.
My pet has taken over this, so
all right.
Get
the pet one, get the regular one. Let the pets be comfortable.
The pets already love it. The pets love all of it.
Yes. For a limited time, our listeners can get 40% off select Lola Blanket products with code Kit and Krysta at checkout. Just head to lolablankets.com and use code Kit and Krysta to get 40% off your order. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them, and please support our show and let them know we sent you. Wrap yourself in luxury with Lola Blankets.
We'll put the link right over here and with a QR code for you to scan, and also in the description below.
All right, quick question before the news. This is from Novaru on Patreon. In the latest podcast, you mentioned that you had to play online games like Splatoon with reviewers. I don't know exactly what the Treehouse people do, but I thought they test and play games. Do they also play online with the reviewers? What does Treehouse actually do? And in that topic of that podcast, a lot of people in our community chimed up and were like, yeah, I know, I've heard of the Treehouse a million times, but I can't say I know exactly what they do. And that's how they like it.
Good question. Yeah, it is a little bit confusing, this thing that they call the Nintendo Treehouse. You guys have seen like the Treehouse Live. And I think that is most people's like interaction or like touch point with the Treehouse is watching those people that are game experts play a game on a live stream. And yeah, it is a little confusing what they do. There's kind of like two parts to the Treehouse. There is the localization team, and they're the ones that are doing like all the translations and all of that stuff that we've talked about. And then there's also the sort of the product. What are they even called now? I get confused.
So they've changed their name. When we were there, they were product marketing.
Product marketing, which was a bad name.
Yeah, now I think they're like player experience.
Player experience.
Something like that. Yeah, the product marketing was controversial because they were not actually part of the marketing department.
And they didn't have any expertise in marketing.
Exactly.
So you shouldn't be called that.
But the idea is like they are informing all of the marketing teams and really anybody within Nintendo of America who needs to know any information about the games themselves. Yeah. Because that's what they call themselves. We're the product experts in the Treehouse. Yes. So like they would review every piece of marketing work that would go out and make sure it is accurate to the game. They would be the ones who would brief us on it, and they would make all these big
game guides and things like that.
Exactly. Like everything you need to know. And, in our case, like when we would do like something showing the game to media or content creators, they would be the ones leading those demos and actually showing it to them. Yes. And that when we would do these online sessions, they would be the ones who were involved in those as well, since they know the game best.
Yeah. And again, like, a little controversial because there was always a little bit of like bad feelings sometimes around the Treehouse, because honestly, the reason why they knew the game so well is because they got access to the games. Like they were given like the pre-launch builds of these games super early, and they were able to basically play them and then learn the game. So like, if you think about it, if you just gave everybody a pre-launch build, they could do it themselves. They could play the games and become an expert. So there was a little controversy around that because sometimes they would like to overstep into the marketing things that they were not the expert of, and that would create drama. This has got to be a story time because I can't keep talking I can't keep talking smack. I'm gonna get in trouble. But maybe in a story time we'll go into like the drama around Treehouse, because there was a lot, and it was definitely a little controversial. There was some bad blood and some bad feelings for sure. That's what they did.
Very tricky thing for us in a different office when we were in the Redwood City office of actually getting the games in our hands to learn about them. And obviously, the marketing teams in Japan didn't have these problems because they were like, we just talk to the developers and they
just walk downstairs or walk to the next building.
And it's like, I've played this game 20 times over and I know everything about it. It's like, well, that would be nice. But like we always used to have somebody fly down and have the game there, but only for like a day. And it's like, all right, I could play it for an hour, but any suggestion of like, can I get a system in my office with these games? It was like, oh, that was such a headache and all these hoops to jump through. I legit think that's one of the reasons that our office got closed down, was like the team needs to get more hands-on with these games to know these games inside and out. And it doesn't seem like you at NOA can figure that out.
Yeah.
Which we legit couldn't. So
there was so many different options that were thrown out of like how to get more hands-on time, and it just didn't seem to be,
it never happened,
anyone's priority, and it never happened, even though it was like a big deal. So anyways, there was this culture of like gatekeeping access, gatekeeping information. That is the power chip at Nintendo, is like, how much information do you have? And the people that have the information are the most powerful people, and the people that didn't have it were like the least powerful people. And so there was this whole thing that was happening that was stupid, but it was happening, and it just caused a lot of issues. And once again, I'm going to stop talking now.
Okay. Let's start the news before more bombs get dropped.
Oh no.
So everybody's probably seen this over the last couple of days. There has just been this. A lot of this first came through this one article that's in Deadline, which is a movie industry outlet that's very legit and very reputable. Yes. And they're like, we have a source who is a very reputable source who's telling us that these people have all been cast in the Zelda movie. It's kind of weird to say they've been cast because the filming's over. Like the movie is done, basically.
They have been, like they've literally been filming the movie. They finished filming the movie.
So there's like 4 or 5 people there, and then there was another one that popped up just this morning.
Right?
From a different source. But it has been interesting to see a lot of people saying like, "Oh, here are all the confirmed new additions to the cast." It's like,
well, no one's confirmed it.
I don't know how confirmed any of these are. Like,
but they are confirmed.
I mean, it does seem like it's pretty certain that most of these are. But maybe, I don't know, maybe couch it some way or another. Anyway, let's get into who these people are. The one thing they have in common is I have actually no clue how to pronounce their names, so I apologize in advance.
Good luck to
you. Let's start with the first one, which is big. Ganondorf, Uli Latukifu. Please, I need a pronunciation guide for all of these names. Uli. I don't want to get these wrong. I'm so sorry. Uli, please don't beat me up. You look very big and strong.
He's gonna kick your butt.
Yeah, so he's supposedly playing Ganondorf. He is Australian. It is very interesting how many of these actors and actresses are either Australian or from New Zealand.
Yeah,
since they filmed the movie in New Zealand.
Locals, I guess.
I guess there was like a movie about The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, where he played the young version of him.
Yeah.
He's got a very imposing build. Looks like a very handsome man to me. Going to be playing that Tears of the Kingdom Ganondorf to a T.
Ooh, baby. This is a good cast.
I mean, this
is a good actor. I can see
You can see immediately, like, yeah, he can do that role.
He can pull it off.
No problem.
Absolutely. I had been so impressed with just the casting overall for this movie. And then again, we've been seeing a lot of the actor that's playing Link in House of the Dragon for many episodes now. And it's just, he's such a good actor. I think that all of these actors, not only do they have the right look, but they're probably going to be really good actors. And yeah, he seems perfect for this. He's very handsome. He's definitely got the look down, but I full confidence that this is going to be a great actor to play Ganondorf.
Yep. So that's probably the biggest one. Well, actually, I don't know. This other one's pretty big too. Sam Neill, who has since passed away, sadly.
Yeah.
So this would
really
be presumably his final role. He's also from New Zealand. I actually didn't know that until I read it in this round
he's
of
like
coverage.
a legend. Yeah,
he's a pretty big name.
Big name.
Kind of the first like name actor to be added to the movie.
Yeah, you can pronounce his name and you know who he is.
Yes, so I appreciate that.
There you go.
We've also got again, is it Deacon Lockman?
Deacon Lockman, yes.
She was the one who we had seen previously from those leaked set photos, playing Impa.
Yeah.
So she's not a completely new character.
Yeah.
But then
she's a fantastic actor, and she's in Severance, which is an amazing show where she has really have to, the acting chops need to be there for a show like that, and the look also, you can totally see Impa, but imagine the makeup, imagine her hair in a ponytail or something. You're like that, and it's perfect, right? So it's awesome. Yeah.
And then one more, Yvonne Strahovski has been added as well, and that's an actress who we had a funny time trying to remember. She was in that show that was so big for a while that we always kept seeing at Comic-Con, and we had to look it up, and it was Chuck.
It's Chuck, yeah.
But she was they used her likeness in Mass Effect. I think it was Mass Effect 2.
That's what you were saying.
She was playing one of those characters. She was really big in the gaming circles for a while. And I guess she most recently was in The Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah, she's really good in The Handmaid's Tale.
I haven't
really,
seen
really
that.
good. Yeah, that's a good show. Yeah, I wonder who she's going to be playing though. I guess we don't know. Sam Neill's character and Yvonne's character, we don't know who it is. Are we presuming that Sam Neill's maybe King Rome?
Zelda's father?
King of
seems like that could definitely
that could
be
work.
A possibility.
Or something like that, and then
very
I don't
regal.
know. Very regal. Yeah, I can pull that role off. Probably really, really well. Yeah.
So that was kind of the first 4 to get confirmed. And then shortly after that, there was another one, Lydia Peckham, who is an actress who's actually worked with the director of the Zelda movie, Wes Ball, before. She was in The Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. This was another via Deadline. I haven't seen that movie. I'm not familiar with her, but as part of these Deadline confirmations, seemed like that's a pretty likely addition.
Yeah. Also New Zealand.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, also
and
New
then
Zealand.
The newest one, and this is the one that did not come through Deadline. This came through Daniel RPK, who I guess is another kind of movie insider person, who some people have said is reliable, other people have said is not. So I guess you can take it with a grain of salt. But how do you pronounce this first name? I don't know.
Samara Weaving. Samara Weaving.
And I was familiar with her because only a week or 2 ago, she was also one of these confirmed actors for the new X-Men cast that they're building out. She's supposedly going to be the White Queen.
Oh, cool.
So, wow.
That's a cool character.
She's a very hot actress in terms of getting these big new roles.
Yeah, so she's supposedly going to be Hylia, goddess. Yes, the goddess Hylia.
The goddess Hylia.
I could see it.
Why do you think all these things are popping up now?
Because there's going to be a direct. That's why.
Did they see the direct? Why now? I don't understand.
I don't know. I feel like they're about to reveal all of these in some sort of 40th anniversary direct, and then these people are going to start going on some light press tours, or they have a trailer coming out, or something is happening. Something is happening. Mark my words.
And you're freaking out. It is.
I'm not freaking out. I'm just saying that it's suspicious.
It's a little.
It's very suspicious
that they went all this way with only confirming those 2 actors, the main 2
because
actors.
They're waiting for the direct.
And you literally filmed the whole rest of the movie, and surprisingly, until now, none of this stuff came out. But that's kind of I don't know, that's a little risky.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they're not
I
happy
bet
that this
you
stuff
anything
is coming out.
That they filmed that 40th anniversary direct already, and it has the actors in it.
Yeah.
Kind of hi, I'm Samara and I'm playing the goddess Hylia and I can't wait to blah blah blah. They probably
But
and
I mean,
so
compare it to the first Mario movie where there's like, here's everybody. And we were just all like rolling on the floor laughing.
Well, I feel like this is really different because it is live action and there is a lot of like pent up nervous energy from Zelda fans. And they have to be a little bit more. I mean, it was bad when the Mario movie cast.
But this isn't Chris Pratt. These are legit actors.
I know, but everyone's like, well, she's not, that's not what I envisioned or whatever. People are going to have like opinions and they're probably trying to like keep that at bay for as long as until they can show like a trailer, because the worst thing you want is like all of these people are like confirmed and everyone's just speculating on like what that role is going to look like and how they're going to perform it and all that stuff. It's annoying. So it's like, wait for the trailer for you to see some acting before you freak out.
I don't know. They could have Uli Latakifu come out and do a peck dance. I think that would win some people over too.
Pose like the Ganon amiibo.
Yeah, exactly.
From Tears of the Kingdom, everyone would just shut up. Yeah, everybody just like shut their trap. I would. It would work on me.
Yeah.
So
yes, it does feel like we are on the cusp of some sort of official announcement, but this is kind of tiding us over until then.
Teaser trailer, 40th anniversary direct, teaser trailer. All these people come out to say hello, I'm playing such and such, and then they're going to roll into the Ocarina update where they give us a launch date. That is the direct. That's coming like on Thursday while you're in Sun Moon Lake or in a bunker or whatever.
I'm in the air raid bunker.
You're in an air raid bunker. There's a reacting
do they have internet down there? Can I react from a bunker?
They degraded your internet because you're in a war. So no, I don't think you can react to a direct.
People. I need to react.
You're like, excuse me, to like the soldier. Can I react to this? I need to watch the Zelda 40th anniversary direct. Gosh. They're like, please sit next to the chamber pot.
The latest Nintendo financials are out. These ones actually caught us by surprise. We missed these.
Forgot about these.
Because there was not too much huge earth-shattering information there. This was for the first quarter of the new fiscal year. And in terms of like the financial side of things, the net sales were down 10%, but pretty much everything up. Everything else was up, and in some cases, like by a really dramatic amount.
Yeah.
This was the quarter that had the Mario Galaxy movie in it, so that's a big pop. And then if you also look at the fine print, they logged $300 million as part of this tariff.
Oh, the
refund, tariff payback, whatever you want to call it. That was included here as well. So there were some.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
At $300 million, you and I won't be seeing a cent of, unfortunately.
No.
No.
Never. No.
So those are some unusual things. This was the thing that stood out to me the most. Tomodachi Life Living the Dream has sold 8 million units.
Wow.
What?
That's awesome.
Crazy. That's great news.
Cool. Yeah, it's great to see that.
Yeah, I mean, we've been following this series since before it even came to the US, when it was a DS game in Japan only. I remember hearing about it from Mr. Sakamoto, and we're like, what a strange thing this is. Maybe one day we can play that game in English in the United States. And it's like, 8 million people are loving this game, which is great to see.
I heard this game is really popular among like the younger people as well, like everybody in school, like kids in school. That's the game of choice, is Tomodachi Life.
Yeah, I think it just hit into like a lot of dynamics of how people are like discovering games and playing games. Seemed like it was very popular with streamers, just like definitely one to just like throw your friends in and share like the crazy things that get up to. So
exactly,
very plugged into all of that. It is interesting that this was a Switch 1 game and it sold 8 million units, which
it's a lot of people with a Switch still.
If you compare that to the standalone Switch 2 game sales, that would make it the second best-selling game on the Switch 2.
Yeah.
After Mario Kart World.
Right.
So it's like, gosh, they're caught in this conundrum of, we got to get off of this Switch, we got to get people onto this Switch 2, but at the same time, it's like, gosh, we just sold 8 million copies of Tomodachi Life. That's got to be an interesting conversation for them of like, oh, maybe we could do one more game that's like a light lift technically that we could do and just kind of get some, just reap the cash off of that. I don't know.
Yeah, when do you pull the plug when you're making a lot of money still and there's still just so much saturation of Switch 1
Rhythm
and
Heaven was another one that was a huge seller in Japan.
Exactly. And then I was going to say you're going to have this price increase coming where it makes it even harder for people to like kind of make that jump. So it's like, well, maybe we do kind of keep supporting the Switch 1 with a couple of things here and there. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard when you are still getting rewarded with huge sales numbers. You know, it's hard to like say like, well, it's not like the Wii U days where it's like it wasn't happening there, so we just pulled the plug right away. It was like a very easy like, you know, cut the cord. But this is like, well, it's not even really on life support. It's like living. So
yeah. I mean, before or after Rhythm Heaven, I would have said, okay, that's the last Switch 1 game.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, I'm not so sure. Like, I can't say 100% confidently that they won't do another one.
Right.
Which is
right.
a really interesting place for them to find themselves.
Yeah, you know, over a year into the Switch 2 lifestyle, Switch 2 is also selling really, really well, and they have a lot of great games for it. But it's like, what do you do with this? How do you juggle two things? You know, it's kind of weird. Yeah.
So we did get an update on the best-selling Switch 2 games. I have the top 6 here, so I'll rattle those off and let me know if you find anything interesting here. So Mario Kart World is at 15.3 million pieces. Donkey Kong Bonanza is at 4.78 million. Pokemon Legends ZA, this is just the Switch 2 version. That is at almost 4 million. Pokopia is at 3.68 million. Kirby Air Riders is at 1.9 million. And Mario Party Jamboree Switch 2 Edition, 1.15 million.
All right.
Your thoughts?
All right. RIP to Metroid Prime 4.
Still hasn't made the list.
Literally just
in
dead
any way,
in the
shape,
water.
or form.
Yeah.
Yikes.
RIP. Pour one out for Metroid Prime 4. This is not really surprising at all. Obviously, Mario Kart, it's because it's bundled. I'm kind of surprised. I guess one little thing is like, I was thinking Donkey Kong would kind of keep going, but it's pretty like, it kind of hit that 4.5 like early and it just kind of marginally has increased. I was thinking maybe they would get another pop from that for some reason, because this game is very evergreen. Like Donkey Kong's a character that's just like always around. So kind of surprised it didn't like catapult that game more. But otherwise, I mean, you know, this all kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I think they're going to keep pushing it. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some new content update for that.
Exactly.
And then, you know, they got this rumored Donkey Kong movie where I'm sure they're going to be talking about this game like crazy. So I think they have a long tail view of that game. The ones that that I find most interesting on this list are the bottom two. Kirby Air Riders at almost 2 million. Like, I think that's pretty good for that game.
That's great.
Like, it's a pretty niche game.
Sakurai joint though.
Sure, but it's
add
not
1
for
million.
everybody.
Add $1 million just for the Sakurai name.
It's not for everybody.
90 million.
If you just ask me, I think that's a pretty good number. And then this Mario Party, God, Mario Party is just such a juggernaut franchise that not everybody would think that. It's like, this is on top of all the sales that they got for the Switch, the original Switch version of Mario Party Jamboree. It's a lot.
It's like, it's one of those things where like if you get it and it's like a family thing, like you're sharing it with your family, you're going to get this game. It's almost like a guarantee that you're going to get. You're going to get the bundle with Mario Kart, and your second game is probably this game.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it's easy win for them, you know. So that's why they keep doing these. They can easily make a lot of money, and it's, you know, easy sell over $1 million, no problem.
Yeah. We are not far from getting a detailed look at Grand Theft Auto 6. But people are not necessarily happy about how it is happening. So
this is a surprise.
They're doing, they're calling it Grand Theft Auto 6, and it's an extended look. It's coming August 27th at 3 p.m. Eastern, and it's debuting exclusively on Netflix.
Interesting.
It will be on, you know, other places. They have a 6-hour exclusive head start, so you'll be able to watch it later that day, other places, if you don't have a Netflix subscription. I don't think they've officially said how long this is, but I've heard people saying like 20 minutes is what's kind of floating around, which, that would be an extended look, kind of like consider it like a title direct.
Like a title direct, yeah.
And, you know, we've seen so little on this game. It does seem like this is where they're going to go into all the systems, all the details of the game that we don't really know much about.
Yeah.
Maybe they could have done this before they told us to pre-order the game. I don't know. That's just me.
They don't need to. They know what they have. It is very interesting.
It's been kind of, so people are mad about this. A lot of people are mad.
Yes.
I'm certainly not mad about this. Like I do have Netflix, but even if I didn't, I'd be like, all right, well, I'll wait the 6 hours and I'll see it then.
Whatever.
But it is interesting from people saying like, oh, they don't have to do any marketing for this game. This game will sell itself. To like, now I'm mad that I have to get a Netflix subscription to watch the extended look. It's like, well, I thought we didn't. I thought we didn't have to do anything. So
I thought you were already in. Didn't you already pre-order your special edition?
Which one is it? Yeah.
Yeah. I think people
I have not pre-ordered this game yet. You don't have to. You don't have to pre-order this game.
It's a digital game. You just get it.
I think they said like a week before the game starts preloading. So it's like, well, that's the time where you should really do it to make sure that massive game is downloaded. But you don't have to do it right now.
No, you absolutely don't. Save your pennies until you really need to. I think people are also kind of upset because it's one of those things where like Netflix feels out of place to share gaming information. It's like people usually don't like video game news. People don't expect to have to go to like this like very mainstream streaming service to get the information. And so that's why people are kind of upset. I think it's like, well, this is out of the ordinary for it to be on this like streaming service for normies or whatever. So I think that's why people are kind of mad too.
So with both of us, having a background in marketing, I really do understand the reasoning for this because we've been involved with like the biggest of the big Nintendo launches, and it's always like, okay, we have to go, every single thing we do for this game has to be above and beyond. We can't just do the basic stuff that we do for everything else. Like this is our one opportunity to do something really special and make this as big as it can possibly be. And if you're Rockstar and this is the first Grand Theft Auto game in like 15 years, it's amped up to an even crazier degree. So it's not like if you said like, yeah, we'll just put it on YouTube, like you're getting like laughed out of the room. And by laughed at, I mean yelled at.
And
because it's like, no, we have the biggest cultural moment of the decade here. Mm-hmm. We have to treat this like it's bigger than any movie premiere, bigger than any other entertainment debut in the world. So you do have to start thinking, your wheels have like if you're there and you're the person in charge, you do have to start thinking of like, okay, well, what can I actually do to pay that off? And it's like, okay, well, Netflix is this huge cultural gathering place where people go to watch this stuff. This game is clearly going to have an impact beyond just gamers. This is the game that like a lot of non-gamers was like, oh yeah, this is the game that I'm going to play for the next 5 years or something. Or everybody knows about Grand Theft Auto. So there are a lot of things about it that I think do make sense from that standpoint. I understand that it's a little bit different from what fans are normally asked to do to get this kind of information. But I do understand why Rockstar is doing it.
The other thing too is like the other immediate conversation that you're having when you have the biggest game of all time that you're launching is how do we reach beyond the core audience? They have the core audience. You already pre-ordered. They told you to pre-order without seeing anything. You already did it. So you don't matter to them at all. Like it doesn't matter. They don't need to market to you because you already bought the game essentially. So dummies, just kidding. So they need to sell it to that person that doesn't ever play, see, know where to look to find video game information. If this is a normal person that's just like scrolling through Netflix, watching whatever, they're gonna see this and be like, I recognize the name Grand Theft Auto. I didn't know what this new game was about or there's a new game coming out. I didn't know that. That's a person that they want to reach. So once again, it's one of those things where it feels bad because you're like, well, you should talk to me. I'm the biggest Grand Theft Auto fan. I've been following all the news. It's like, no, they don't want to talk to you. You already know. You already know the information. They don't need to sell this to you anymore. So that's like from a marketing perspective as well. It's like, what is the thing that you need to do to make this break out from the core audience, because that is what you need to do for the biggest launch of all time. So it totally makes sense to me. I'm not mad about it.
Yeah, sense. And I guess Jason Schreier had a conversation with Strauss Zelnick, who's the head of Take-Two. Maybe Strauss and Uli can have a Peck dance-off on the cover of Men's Fitness. And he did say, it's like, yes, this strategy is aiming to reach non-gamers. So it's like, that's exactly what you said. He also said that like it's going to feel like a premium Netflix production. So you don't wonder, like, are they going to have other like actors involved in this or introducing this in somehow? Like, what other bells and whistles are they going to give beyond just like roll the trailer?
Exactly. 20 minutes is not just roll a trailer. It's like there's going to be some stuff around that makes it feel interesting for a non-gamer. You're going to need to give these people some background into why this is the biggest thing ever that they should be paying attention to. You're going to need to do that work because they have not been paying attention because they don't know what this is.
Yeah.
So
I think this is also,
that's what this is going to be.
I think this is also happening that week that we're in Germany for Gamescom. So we'll just add that to the list of things that are happening while we're there, including the Duskbloods network test, which we both got into, by the way.
Yes, how exciting.
Very fortuitous, but it's going to be a busy week for us that week.
Really hope that VPN and the internet and
that internet better work. That German internet.
Solid. They're good in Germany.
I'm counting on you,
okay.
German internet.
We're counting on you, hotel internet.
Wow. We got a fresh batch of games we are playing, and I want to start with your thoughts on Final Fantasy XIV because I am so curious to hear everything about this.
Oh my goodness. So I did start Final Fantasy XIV. I've been wanting to start for a while, and I finally did over the weekend. I'm very lucky because we have a wonderful community that's very helpful. We have a channel in our Discord dedicated to Final Fantasy XIV filled with experts that have been playing this game and know how to play this game and know what to do. So I got a little leg up. Like, people told me, my community was so great. They're like, join this specific server, do these things. They sent me a lot of like wikis and info that I could look at. They, if I had a question, I have basically like people that I can ask, which is really good because this game is very overwhelming and like all MMOs, very intimidating. So I did get the free trial, and don't get confused because I was confused. Like, there's so many options of how you can get this game. If you're not
so is that a standalone thing that you get in the eShop?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Don't get tricked and get the starter edition because you don't need to do that right now. Just get the free trial. And that is already somebody in our Discord told me that was like 200 hours of content. So like that will probably give you a good idea if you like this game or not. After 200 hours, if you still want to continue, then you can maybe
I'm still not sure.
Buy the game. I'm still not sure.
You need another 200 hours.
I don't know. But like, again, I've played other MMOs before, so I do, kind of know what I'm jumping into, but it is like one of those very overwhelming experiences where you jump into the, I jumped into the free trial. I like, very character creation, pick a class, read the things. I joined a server that my community told me to join, so I did exactly what they said. And I started with like all the beginning sort of like get familiar quests, and it's confusing. It's like they throw so much information at you. Like, I have screenshots where you just look at the screen and it's just, there's so much text all over the screen of people, like people's handles and like the text that's popping up, the map, the quest log, the chat is going, and then your stuff is on your like hotkeys are on the bottom. It's just like insane. It looks like who could read this, right? It's like insanity. So there's that element. There is also sort of like, just the element of like, I don't know where to go next. I don't know like what is the important information for me to retain right now because it's so much. So that's like it just takes getting used to. It's okay. Like that, I think everybody feels like that when they first start playing an MMO. It's just, that's the way it is. But eventually you kind of get used to it. I'm getting used to the sort of the area that you start in that has all the things that you need, like the quest person and the guild person that you need to join for your class and your your job and all that stuff. I am a class. I don't know what it's called. I think it's called the Ura. It's like a dragon person.
So how did you decide, like, your class? Like, how did you decide all that? Did you do
I read
ton of research?
some stuff. I read some stuff, yeah, before I
decided. Because that's like always such a huge roadblock for me of like, I can't screw this up.
Yeah, no, you really can't. There's a lot to choose from too. So there's a lot of different like combinations. It's like first you choose the class, and then you choose the tribe that your class belongs to, and then you choose your job, like your whatever you are. And I'm an arcanist, which is like a mage class, I believe, which is what I typically choose. So anyways, that whole thing was a ordeal. And then you get in, you do the beginning quest, which has been going fine. I've been like able to get through most of those okay. The other thing is that I'm playing on a Switch, obviously a Switch 2, but this game is obviously better on a PC. It's one of those things where like, if you had a mouse and a keyboard and a giant piece, screen, you would have a much better UI because everything is so tiny and small, and like the map is like this stamp size thing. You can kind of zoom in. The touch screen does work, which is kind of cool. Mouse mode, I've been trying to tinker around with that a little bit. It's not the most comfortable, but it does help to have a mouse sometimes. Like there's a cursor that will pop up and you can use a touch screen to move it around, or you can use the mouse.
What is it like playing this MMO in handheld mode? Like, is the connection solid?
The connection is great. No issues. Performance is great. Even though there's like 5,000 things on screen, it actually looks and feels really good. But it's just like, you can tell this is like built for a PC because that's what it is. And so it's just kind of odd, like getting to menus is just very cumbersome. Maybe there's a better way that I just don't know yet. Maybe there's like a way to hotkey stuff, but it's like many clicks for me to like fast travel, basically like 5. So it's like, how do I even get to the quest that I accepted? Like, where is it? Like, I don't know. So yeah, there's like very like dumb questions that I'm sure people that are very versed in this game are just yelling at the screen right now. You're like an idiot. You have no idea what you're doing. Like, why do you suck? But yeah, I don't know. I'm going to keep going. It's pretty fun. I mean, at the end of the day, beyond the overwhelming things, like I kind of like it. It's like fun. It's like, I'm getting that the MMO vibe, like those vibes are good. Like, it's like, yeah, you see the people that are there too, like doing the stuff that you're probably struggling with too. And like, I don't know, it feels like there's a community there, and it's kind of nice. But and the gameplay is really fun too. So
what are but you download the free trial. What other hoops do you have to jump through before you can just legit start playing?
You have to create a Square Enix account and link that to your free trial, which is not too hard. I was able to do it all on the Switch. I didn't have to like go get my phone and or go to a computer and do it or anything like that. So that was fine. You have to, that's pretty much it. You have to like, give yourself a nickname and start to choose your class and then choose your server. And then you're pretty much good to go. I did get a little like message when I first started playing, like your server is overloaded. You need to wait. Like you're in a waiting room. So I had to wait like, I don't know, 5 minutes to get into it.
All right. That doesn't sound too bad.
No, it's not. It's really not. But yeah, it's overwhelming. It's definitely overwhelming.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's very overwhelming. Like I cannot.
Especially for an MMO that's been out for this long. Yeah. It's like they just like keep adding and adding and adding to it. So it's like,
where do I even
start? The day one experience versus the year whatever this is experience is so different. And I'm sure they've done a lot to try and onboard new players, but it's like it's just going to be a lot.
And there's so much reading. It's like I can't. I mean, it's like information. The first like 2 hours is you got to talk to like everyone to figure out like who's your person that does this and who's your person that does that and who sells what and who does what. So you're just like talking to these people and you're like, my eyes are glazing over. I have no idea who are you? Like these names are crazy. It's all consonants. Why is your name all consonants? I don't understand. Like, where are the vowels? Find Albuquerque. Like, okay, where could he be? Let me look at this tiny map and figure it out.
I have one more question, which is, when does the free trial expire? Or how does it expire?
I don't know.
How do you reach a point where like now you need to start paying?
I'm sure they're like gonna tell me like, there's also certain things that are locked. Like I went somewhere and it was like, you can't go here because you have the free trial.
Okay. Huh.
So I don't know. But I don't know when it's.
So at that point, you would need to get one of those
something.
paid versions of the game and start paying the subscription fee.
Correct.
Huh.
But right now I don't.
I'm very fascinated in all of this. Part of me wants to jump in and do it myself, and part of me is completely terrified. So I don't know.
It's pretty. I'm gonna play some more tonight.
Yeah.
And see how far I can get, and then I think we are gonna try to make a standalone video. By we, I mean me.
Yeah.
As a call for help. Like, please.
I mean, I think there's so many people in your position.
People can help me. Yes.
Who are just like, how do I get started with this? Even again, just that detail of like, what version do I get on the eShop is completely petrifying, I think, for people. And like, what do I do to get started? So like, I think that is a good just public service to put out into the world, because there's so many, and maybe a lot of people have never even played an MMO, which makes it like triply more daunting.
At least I've played an MMO before. I was a big WoW player, and so there's some familiar things that I'm like, okay, I remember this. You know,
I want to be keeping an eye on you, see if you fall back into your old addict habits. It's like, oh, Krista didn't sleep last night, I can tell.
That's happened to me.
Yeah.
I've forgotten people. Like, people are like, you're supposed to meet me like 4 hours ago. I was like, oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no.
I was busy raiding.
Yeah. I have a couple games that I checked out on the flight over here. I put a couple hours into each of these. One of which is a game that's new this week that I think a lot of people are curious about. The Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered is coming to the Switch 2. And for me, this is a really nostalgic game. This was part of that early run of Xbox 360 games that was really like showing like, oh, this is what a new generation of games could be. And Elder Scrolls 3 was on the original Xbox, Morrowind, and I did play that on the original Xbox, but it was a little bit too much game for that system to really handle. So I had it and I played it and I was like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing here. This game doesn't run that well. Maybe this is not the perfect experience. But on the Xbox 360, and this was also like one of the first Xbox 360 games to ever get shown. So it was like, oh, this is what this new system is capable of. And I definitely like fell in love with the series with this one, where you just had this huge open world. And it's very much like a PC style game that was coming to consoles, which was a very still... It
was a big novel, right?
Very new
then.
thing.
Yeah.
Still for that time. So as I started playing this, a lot of those memories came back. I was like, oh, this is a really special game. And I actually prefer this game to Skyrim, which is maybe an unpopular opinion. For
really?
Reasons. Skyrim did not click with me the same way that Oblivion did.
Like Skyrim.
And I can't exactly put my finger on why, but it just did.
Interesting.
As far as like the Switch 2 version, so the this released on other platforms a while ago, it seems like a really solid version. It's a Bethesda game, so it's not going to be flawless from a technical standpoint. Like the frame rate is not 60 frames, but it seems solid. I don't know exactly what it is running at. I was obviously playing it on handheld mode because I was on the airplane, and it seemed to run really well. The graphics are very nice, very detailed. It's definitely a step up from what I remembered the game looking like. It has some cool stuff. It has a mouse mode, which I didn't really try out too much, but it's nice that it's there. And we've just noticed this pattern with these Bethesda games on the Switch 2 of them getting a good degree of TLC, like after they come out, to just kind of iron out any kinks that might be there. And honestly, you've also seen them go on sale not that long after they come out. So if you're willing to wait like a couple months, you could probably get this at a better price. It is full physical if you want to go that route. I don't know how plentiful that version is going to be, but that's nice. So yeah, I had two takeaways. Like one is just like, this is a really nice version of a game that I like a lot, and I'm glad to have it on the Switch too. And then secondly, Bethesda's just been such a great supporter of this platform, and I am a little nervous for what's to come. If there's going to be, with this Xbox regime change, are they going to be allowed to put their games on the Switch too in the future? I feel like that would be a huge shame, because they put some like Skyrim, Fallout, Indiana Jones, now this. It's like, that's a really nice list of games to have on the Switch 2 in the first year and change of the platform, and I would hate to lose that.
That would be terrible if they couldn't do that anymore. Because I've played so many of these Bethesda games now on a Switch 2.
They're good.
And I was going to say, they're so good.
Yeah.
I would be so sad if that was really like a proclamation on high, like, you can't do this anymore.
Yeah, that would suck. So
console wars.
We do have, hopefully, a physical version of this coming in, which you are going to do an unboxing of if the people want to see it in all of its close-up glory. So stay tuned for that. That should be.
I'll unbox it and keep it nice and safe for you when you come back.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Yes.
The other game I played on the plane was a game that you played earlier. I think it was earlier.
I did play this game.
Mouse PI. I finally started that up because I was very curious about that. I just didn't have the time to get to it.
It's fun.
Boy, this game makes a great first impression with just the presentation. So it's interesting. I thought this was just a straight up boomer shooter. It's got this black and white presentation that looks like an old, like 1930s cartoon where you're this cartoon mouse and you're in this like kind of like film noir cartoony world.
But Troy Baker is the voice.
Yes, the voice work
is
incredible.
Hilarious.
It's all in black and white, but there's actually this other kind of detective private investigator side to it as well that I didn't really know that much of it was in the game, but you're picking up clues. There is kind of like a hub area that you can walk around and talk to people and get clues. And I only was able to do the first couple missions, but it's like, oh, that's a really nice addition to something that I thought was just a straight up shooter. And it is called Mouse PI. And I was like, should there be some PI side to this game? And there actually is. So that's great. Did you finish this game?
I was like halfway through, I think.
You got pretty far into it.
I got pretty far. I also like that some of the stages have some good puzzle elements as well. Like you can like break the safes and do some other like little things that's not boomer shooting. Tons of weapons and like different upgrades and all that stuff to choose from as well, which was really fun. And just the presentation, the look, the voice acting, all of it is incredibly done. Really, really cool.
There's so many layers to the presentation that are great. It's just the immediate look of the graphics is really unique and cool. Then there's just kind of like the way they have built the world is very rich with all of these just like references to the 1930s. That's like, this is all like you clearly put a lot of thought into all of this. The music
it has like that like
is
Disney
perfect.
The Disney Toontown kind of aesthetic where everything's kind of like bubbly and like bouncy. The music is really good. Like we said, the voice acting is excellent. There's the whole like vibe of it is really, really well done.
I do have a small critique, which is perhaps a big critique, which is I don't think the shooting is that good in this.
Oh.
Yeah. So I only got so far. I only now have the pistol and the shotgun, and none of them have been upgraded to any degree. But the enemies are kind of bullet sponges, and they just kind of like run at you mindlessly. And there's a lot of times where it's like, oh gosh, I'm like almost out of ammo, and now I'm like fist fighting these guys, and that's not working. There's also the, true to the boomer shooter genre, there are these like monster closets where it's like you'll do something and then immediately there's like 3 guys like right in your face. And again, like it's not great to deal with them at those close quarters. You don't like, I thought once I got the shotgun, I'd be like, oh, now it's like no problem. But even a lot of these guys are taking more than one shot point blank with the shotgun to go down. And these are just like the loser, grunt enemies. So maybe it'll feel better as I get further and I get all these weapon upgrades. Just out of the gate, though, I can't say I was that impressed with the shooting.
Oh, it's a big critique. I don't know enough about this genre to like have such a deep critique. Yeah, I thought it was fine.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll keep playing and I'll check back in next week.
All right.
And finally, we have both finished, air quotes, finished Splatoon Raiders. Because now we know the post game and the post game also awaits us.
Yes, the post game I haven't really jumped into yet. But yes, we did learn that there was a post game where like your level was like level 50 plus whatever other level, which is confusing and weird.
Yeah.
Why not just continue the levels forward?
I tried to do some of that on the plane, but it was like 5 in the morning, and I was like, my brain is not equipped to handle this right now.
Yeah, you can't even see the salmon. The salmon is. You're like, my vision is like blurring. Yeah, but I really loved this game, and the ending was so good, and I loved the last boss, and we also spent some time. Like we were both pretty close. I think you had actually already beaten the game. I was pretty close to the end, and we spent some time playing with our community. And it was like some people's first time playing with other people. Like you and I have been playing together, but just the two of us. So we jumped into some like 4-player games. And it is a different feeling when all 4 people are in. I mean, they ratchet up that difficulty. We were like getting worked when we try to do even some of the early levels. I was like, let's do it on spicy. And I was like, oh, too spicy.
No.
But it was just so fun. We had such a good, everyone took so many photos of our little like end screens with our cute little faces. But it was a great time. And this game is so good. It's so much fun.
And I don't want to spoil it, but the final like area and the final boss was really cool and really well done. And I get very surprising, which I get is just very in tune with the whole theme of this game, just like over delivering on what you think it might be, just going above and beyond. And I'm seeing so many people now coming out and saying, yeah, Splatoon Raiders is like my favorite Switch 2 game. Really,
it's up there for me.
Really,
absolutely.
Just what a great surprise of a game for us to have this summer.
Yeah, so good, good.
Yeah. Wow. Shout out once more to our Patreon community, patreon.com/Kit and Krysta. We just mentioned all these great guests that we're going to be having throughout the month. You can get early access to all of those episodes. So if you want to hear what Kevin Bayless of formerly Rare has to say, or Pete has to say about Nintendo Power, you can get that first before anybody else with Patreon.
This week, we just dropped our Deltarune spoiler cast as well. That's a Patreon exclusive. We have so much exclusive content. The library is growing, especially with spoiler casts. So
yes, it is.
Definitely join and check it out at patreon.com/Kit and Krysta. We are also on the social. We're on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Blue Sky, and Threads.
Yes, and whether you're watching this on video or listening to this on audio, you can give us a great review, leave us a comment, and also subscribe.
All right, let's shout out some wonderful Patreon community members, starting with Final Boss, Aaron Hash.
Aaron Hash. I'm going to have to be on the lookout for a special gift for Aaron Hash on my travels here.
The Kit and Krysta summer games have been going strong, and Aaron Hash has some special duties as the final boss that I saw, and some of the stuff that he was having the kids do in the games were pretty cool.
Wow,
I was impressed.
There was our first update on the scoring of the games, and you are now slightly in the lead, but don't get cocky. We're in the early days. Get that out of your head. No.
Go Krystopians! Fight!
The Krysta hubris shall be your downfall, as always.
All right. We're going to shout out some superstars. We're going to do a chunk and you do a chunk because internet situations of this podcast. Okay. Eigenverse, Mike Chim, Roy Eschke, VGM Life, Link, the Hero of Wins, Angela Bycroft, Thomas O'Rourke, Kyle LaBeouf, Andrew Uhas, Chris Shuri, Master Discord, Travis Torline, MSN Poke Gamer, Art Burns, Kit 10K,
Nathan Clover, The Shark Among Men, Rain Tech, Kiss My Flapjack, Paul Gale Network, Cameron, Capsuli Nerdy, Zudaverf, David Williams, Conky Gamers, David, Khalifa Al-Sawaidi, and Fen O'Connor.
Excellent. I looked up earlier today what letter is in the middle of the alphabet because I was like, okay, I'll just do until that letter for the One Up Club, and then you do the rest. And
I bet you just do it all the way to Tammer Rhymes with Hammer.
No, I won't, because if I do it to the letter M or N, which is the middle of the alphabet,
okay,
I found out when I Googled this, then I don't have to deal with Tamer.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
Take it away.
Here we go. Aaron Burgundy, add to Cool 2000, Adrian W. Age 1000, Ian Evelith, Ali Alejandro, Ali McLovin, Alejandro Arizgo Borrego, Andy Robinson, Angel Aid, Angie Jojo, Anthony Kager, Aristu, Art64, Artisan64, Astro Def, Asurax, Awesome 46, Fino, Barnstorm, Bates, Berserker, Bob Cleffin, Boost Toast, Brandon Kavapel, Provak Novak, Keshu, Cedric Benson, Shadir, Chelly Squirrel, Kai X, Crispy Saurus, Christopher Lay, Chunky Conga, Colin Finnegan, Cool Blue, Connor, Cosmic Titan 718, CP Coaster Lover, Captain Alex, C Roper 17, Cruz and Garza, Seinfeld, Staffers, Dag DeLeo, Dallas E, Dane, Dennis M2, Doghead, Doinko, Dre, Dr. Saturn, Dubs 496, Dude Dad Life, Eccentric Tony, Elite Peach, Eric Baxter, Esparts 50, Furbound, Fernie and Just Forever, Fox Deploy, Funky Fresh, Gabriel Valise, Gamer Nerd 78, Gary, Garf the Wolf, Gartooth, Gianni, Guilty Phoenix 42, Gunico Joe, Hail Jose, Iris Marin, It's Your Boy, J Hov, Ivan, Jay Rando, Jab Jaws, Jack Albert, Jahari Garcia, Jake the Snake 22X, Jameson Eisenberg, J Bar, Jerry 92602, Jim Wakeland, JLP Second, Joe Encarnacion, John Diaz, Jonathan Rowe, John Comboy, Jordan Hemmerly, Joris, Joshua Clements, Juji Fruit, Justin Lemminger, Jay Wolf, Kaylin, Katie Estep, Kawa 2796, Kevin Delane, Katrina, Kay Hooper, Kilo Kibo, Christy Eckert, Kyle Gamerberry Rookie, Kyle 325, Kyle Kretzer, Larry Fitzpatrick, Lazy Cat for Coffee, Leah Rao, Lex, Litton, Logan Affleck, Luke Hayabusa, Luna B, Lynn, Macho Potato. No, you go. That's the M's. That's the middle.
Here I go. Macho Potato, Mac the Cat, Mad Dog 5981, Magnificent Easy G and Callie Marie, Mario Man 392, Marky Man 64, Mary Cohen Colson, Matthias, Maverick Nate, Megan, May plus Leon, Michael Mazer, Michael Wong, Mikey Macaroni, Mr. Ryan 07, Motomania, Mr. Andy Pong, Mr. Beans and Dip, Mr. Bendu 101, Mr. Underscore, Mytran, Nasir, Naif E, Nigbia Reeves, Ninbendo 64, Ninja 11, Ninja Black Belt, Novaru, One of a Kind, Orion, Pangy, Patrice Millette, Paved the Way, Peach Booty, Pedro Coronel, Firamar, Prime Factor, Prince Charmless, PS Switch, Punky, Quintet, Reckless Thomas, Rob M, Rob O, Rob Y, Robbie DLC, Romsky 113, Rox, Ryan Haas, Ryanetta, Salkin 20XX, Scott Skiward, Sebastiano Garase, Sharif Jackson, Shinryu, Shiny Elizabeth, Slowbro, Shump, Schnazzle, Spacey Poo, Spicy Munchkin, Star Fox Jubilation, Stuart Radley, Swan Bao, Pseudo Priest, Streetac, 21 Sick Productions, Tales of Link, Talica, Tamer rhymes with hammer. Tanuki Dragon, Tay120 and 64. Tamer rhymes with hamer. Teal Fox 64. The Keggers, The Quiet One. Thomas Alvarez, Three Rivers. Torcheeks, Totally Joed. Todamaro Trajawi. Trevor Collins, Tugs Puppy Bear. Tusku, Ty Bear the Bear. Tyler Geis, Victor MK. Vitch Michter, Vinny O Games, Viridian Virtual Bot. Waffles, WG Grizzy, Wicked Davy, William George, Yami, YJ Choi, Zach, Zelgaroth, Zapati, Zero Link, and Zubair Fentis.
Wow.
Shout out to Doinko. His game is out this week. It's called Royalty Free for All. It's out on Steam.
Oh my God,
awesome
go get
party
this game.
brawler. This is the best pitch. Bigfoot versus Oliver Twist in the Backrooms. That's all you need to know.
Oh.
Do I have your attention now? I think I do.
Yes, you do. It's such a good game. We loved helping out Colin Doinko. His real name is Colin.
He's
His real name is
Doinko.
Doinko. His real name is Doinko. His nickname is Colin. And this game is just incredible. It's incredibly amazing what the team did to get this game made. And it's all these royalty-free characters. It's so much fun. So please go check it out. It's launch discount price right now, $7.99.
Yeah, check it out.
Can't beat it.
Check it out.
Good
Wow,
stuff.
another international podcast in the books. These are always a roll of the dice. We did it.
Good thing you're not in a war bunker, because that would not have happened. So
that could be a podcast first. It's never too late.
We only have to do one of these, and then you'll be back. So it's actually
coming back soon. Don't worry. I'll be back. It's
not. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're not a POW. It's actually not funny. Podcast. That's actually not funny at all. It's terrifying.
Then you shouldn't be
good
laughing.
Luck to you. Good luck to you. All right, friends. We will see you later.
Bye-bye.